Startup sequence initiated. Hello and welcome to Downbelow. My name is Steve.
Boot sequence incomplete, restarting.
That's Ian. And we are designing together a cyberpunk narrative diceless non-random, I should say, system. And we've taken it upon ourselves in the last couple of episodes to ask and answer questions about the philosophy of Downbelow.
If you want to check out a video about how something that is too random becomes non-random and vice versa, go head on over and check out Vsauce, which is another cool YouTube channel.
So, speaking of randomness, last time we talked a little bit about empowerment and disempowerment in the game. Today I'm actually going to ask a question about the specific empowerment and the reasons thereof. Particularly, what we have chosen to do in this is we are doing away with randomness in its entirety. There are no dice, there is no randomizers, there is no actual random chance short of that brought in by the players themselves and other various decision making. So, why design a system in which there are no accidents that are not intentional? What is the reasoning and the philosophy behind this specific kind of empowerment fantasy?
So there's basically two reasons, and they play into each other. The first thing that I wanted to do when I was putting together the system is I wanted to make players acknowledge something that's true in random systems by putting it in their hands.
Right.
And I thought that by doing this, I could both create a system that would train players better for any game they play, and that would appeal to some players who don't like the kind of game that comes with a random system.
Now, you just mentioned that there was something that would happen in random systems, and you didn't mention what that was.
So, in a system where you're rolling dice, the GM, if they are doing their job right, and this will get into the other some of the rest of it as well.
Right.
But if things are going as the system generally plans it or thinks as they should, then you will succeed and fail a pretty predictable number of times in a given game session. You will probably succeed more than you fail, and or at worst, around 50-50.
If these numbers are skewed, it's probably because either the players or the DM are putting the party up against something they're not geared to handle yet.
Or things that are too easy, or some other miscalibration.
Right. And it could happen on either side.
And the thing is, the perception of randomness can be a good thing when it leads to people rolling with those unexpected punches and having fun explaining them away.
Right.
Or it can turn into a bad thing when people either whine about their bad dice rolls or have a string of lucky dice rolls that turn what should have been a challenging encounter into just boring.
Or even do everything in their power to make sure their dice rolls never total to less than slightly above average.
Right. So the various problems with the numbers-based system made me want to force a situation where players get to choose when they succeed, but must accept a certain number of failures. And on the other side of things, I wanted to create a system where instead of the GM having to try and wrangle with this balance where they were going up against player numbers and they were solely responsible for does the balance of success and failure come out correct to give a good feeling to what's going on, I wanted to let the GM not worry about that because it's built into the system and the players have to choose that and let the GM just worry about what challenges are being presented and work with the players by presenting those challenges, and the players get to decide whether they're succeeding or failing at the challenges, and thus the GM and players now are working together because nothing is hidden now. Everything is on the table and being shared, and again, it appeals to a slightly different type of player and GM. It appeals to people who are looking more for the story, and there are people who wouldn't get into the type of role-playing game that has been on the market so far, who I think might be more interested in the more focused on the improvisational storytelling angle that we're doing. I think, in particular, one group is female gamers. There are a lot of women who I have spoken to who are more interested in the story and the characters than they are necessarily in the numbers. This is not true of all women or all female gamers, but I think that there's a significant demographic of potential female gamers who could be really interested in a game like this, who aren't interested in the type of game that's currently available.
That's quite possible.
And whether female or male, I think that there's a significant number of people who aren't currently gamers who could be interested in this kind of improvisational role-playing with this kind of rules that are turned off by the kind of rules that were already available. So I wanted to do something different, appeal to different people, and focus on different things.
And there we have it, the basic philosophy behind why non-random in its entirety. So, until next time, thank you for tuning in to Downbelow. Thank you for listening to us ask these questions. If you have questions for us, or things you'd like to see in future videos, or even future writing, please let us know in the comments below, or subscribe to our Patreon, support us, and get more videos coming daily to you.
Thank you for those who do support us, whether by subscribing or liking or donating on Patreon, and we will be back tomorrow with another video.